The crack of the bat and roar of the crowd cheering a well-played ball are just a few of the sounds of America's pastime found here in our community. Professional baseball in Williamsport goes as far back as 1870. Synonymous with baseball and known worldwide for it at the youth level, professional baseball, in particular at the minor league level, has a storied legacy woven into the fabric of the community.
There's a lot of people that you talk to that have fond memories of coming up and watching the old Williamsport Grays, let's say in the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
Tales of the game's legends that have played here are among the stories to be told by the community's most senior yarn spinners to today's hopeful youth amidst the confines of Bowman Field during a warm summer's evening.
I think of the promising future of players and of fans who gather together nightly to celebrate together that wonderful thing we call baseball. It's really our own local field of dreams.
One can almost forget the business end of the game, given the experience provided by those responsible for putting the product on the field. Without the seamstress-like work undertaken by the ownership of the local club, the sport at this level would be a tale of the past, only to be experienced by those from a bygone era. Given the skilled craftsman approach in how they conduct their operations, it is with great pleasure that we introduce you to the 2012 Phillips Plankenhorn Small Business of the Year recipient, the Williamsport Crosscutters Baseball Club. Minor League Baseball returned to Bowman Field in the summer of 1994 after a 3-year hiatus, with the relocation of the Geneva Cubs to Williamsport.
At that time, there was certainly a lot of other markets available. We're willing to build newer stadiums, but our owner felt very comfortable here and decided to make his way to Williamsport.
The ownership group, headed by Paul Velt, saw the opportunity to bring professional baseball back to a town that had seen an on-again, off-again relationship with the sport at that level for several decades.
Doug and I made a visit in the fall, and frankly, we said, "You've got to be kidding me." As we looked around, we were afraid that maybe we couldn't make it work for a number of reasons.
While the major league teams that they've represented over the years has changed, the one constant over the last 19 years is that Doug and Gabe can still be found with the club.
It's very hard to find a staff that's been together as long as our staff has at this level of baseball. It just doesn't happen.
It's a challenge. We're a small town in Williamsport proper, and so every year is a challenge for us. That's part of another reason why we stay in Williamsport as a staff, because every year is a challenge.
During their time in Williamsport, the Crosscutters have woven the sport of baseball into many different facets of the community. One is hard-pressed to find an organization that hasn't been touched by the efforts of the club.
In the past, a lot of the teams that have come here were kind of a transitory thing. You figured they'd be only there about a year or two, something like that. But it just seemed that almost from the beginning, the Crosscutters signaled that they were here to stay, and they have done whatever they could to make themselves a deep part of the community.
Non-profit and service groups can be found almost nightly at the ballpark, enjoying a ball game and raising monies and awareness for their respective causes.
There's no limit to how much we can do. We are invested in this community, and we're here 12 months a year, 365 days a year. Although still to this day, my mother wonders even what we do in the winter.
The people who come are loyal to them, and those fans have backgrounds of all different kinds. Situations where they may need help. They may need help with themselves, with their family members, with other people who are facing some difficult times. And I think it's the General Cutters philosophy to give them a quality product at a reasonable price, help them where they can, and then off the field be able to give back to some of those organizations that help their fans. And I think they're really to be credited for that.
There also is the host of organizations directly served by the staff in their volunteering of time to advance causes within the community.
Minor League Baseball is community driven, so we have to, as part of our business plan, be heavily involved in a lot of not-for-profits.
Whether it's volunteering for any special event that's going on for a nonprofit organization, whether it's United Way work or raising money for anybody else in our community, it's important, just like it is for every other business.
The Crosscutters truly embody service to the community. Evidence of this can be seen in their Director of Smiles, Rashawn Westbay.
Rashawn started hanging out at the stadium in 2003. We kind of invited him in. We'd see him at games. We didn't know how he was getting a ticket, so we had him do odd jobs for us during the day, and we gave him a ticket to the game that night. We wondered what would happen at the end of that 2003 season, and he just kept coming. So we had to give him a title, and that is Director of Smiles, and he's been there ever since. Little by little, he's become the most popular person at the ballpark. Probably the only original thing I've ever come up with in my whole life that I didn't steal from another team.
Rashawn and Hope go way back into his school years, and we have been able to observe him just coming alive as a person and really feeling self-confidence and self-esteem about himself and how he relates to people. The Crosscutters have just provided him a wonderful atmosphere to be who he is, and it speaks volumes for what the Crosscutters stand for, and especially Gabe Sinacropi, in that he recognizes the value of all people.
Other staff members have assisted Rashawn in obtaining better living conditions, doctor's care, and an overall better quality of life.
Any player who's played for Williamsport since 2003, they probably don't have a great recollection of what went on in Williamsport that year, but they always remember Rashawn. They can never forget Rashawn.
While commitment to the community is forefront to their operations, operating a first-class sports entertainment business is the key to their success.
We take fun very seriously at Bowman Field, and fun is our job.
That kind of commitment to the community and to the fan base is absolutely to be admired.
It's just a class organization from top to bottom. It's just not baseball from June through September. It's a 365-day commitment to Williamsport and Lycoming County.
Their upbeat feeling, their positive attitude, just the way they conduct themselves make you want to help them. And they're a bunch of good people who enjoy what they do.
The Crosscutters are only one of 160 minor league baseball teams in the U.S. and Canada. Their staff has been recognized by their peers as tops in the industry, with Doug Estes having been named the 2004 New York Penn League Executive of the Year. Former head groundskeeper Melissa Slingerland was cited in 2007 as the New York Penn League Sports Turf Manager of the Year. And in 2011, Gabe Sinacropi was recognized as the New York Penn League Male Executive of the Year. Among other notable awards and recognition, the Crosscutters in 2009 were voted the most popular short-season team in minor league baseball.
I'm most proud of our staff, and not only our full-time staff, but we probably have had upwards of 1,000 part-time folks working for us throughout the 20 years.
We've been lucky to be around and be a stable company for 20 years, especially in minor league baseball. People had no faith. They had no faith that a business coming into Bowman Field would stay, because it never did. We came in, and with everybody's help, we've made it work for 2 decades now. And that's one thing that definitely I know that we're all very proud of. And it's been awesome, and I hope that it's another 20.
The Williamsport Crosscutters Baseball Club has not only achieved this, they have excelled at it, while demonstrating a strong commitment to the community in which they live. It is for this that the Williamsport Lycoming Chamber of Commerce is pleased to award the Williamsport Crosscutters with the 2012 Phillips Plankenhorn Small Business of the Year.